live market and content. I'm generating music from what my parents was doing. So my mic is mostly picking up sound effects for the music. So I don't know if I talk or you scream, I don't know what questions. Bass or guitar and some music. I'm gonna turn on the mic track, but I can switch to when I'm talking.
How's that? Does that sound a little bit more normal? I'm a little bit less like a character in a sci-fi movie talking to you through the bounds of space and time. A bit more like an actual human being now. It says a lot about my expectations that anyone would have wanted to actually hear me talk. That I didn't have a mic track set up for normal speaking. It's like, I know, I'll just mix music live on stream and do art at the same time. Because why not? I found that, like, when I work, I either work in silence or let's say I've got my own rhythm going in my head, and I find myself sort of like humming along or bopping along to whatever that is. So lately I've started, dropping all the effects in the world on my mic and trying to pick up some of those rhythmic sounds that comes from tapping the page, pencil scratchings, that kind of thing. And the great thing about a virtual instrument is that you can just click a couple of keys, add in bass or guitar, especially in this day of art not always being of human creation. Yeah, I used to, I was actually a digital artist for the last, like, I did digital illustration for the last 10 years, and I was in the 3D graphics industry for almost 20 years. But like, I'd always wanted to be an artist. Like, I'd always wanted to be artist. And with the rise of AI and all that, which I'm a sci-fi nerd. I like AI, like the whole concept of it. But it's inspired me to go back to messy physical art, full sensory art performance. That's the idea. And it gives me something to do when things are quiet. Because, sometimes people pop on stream and they'll be doing art themselves, or they'll be at work, and not necessarily in a chatty mood. And it gives me something to do with the sort of pent-up energy. And if I need to sit back and look at the piece for a little while, I can just kind of add in a couple of notes or bring in a different instrument while I'm trying to decide where I want to go with the image. Art is such a physical thing. Like, I find it extremely physically involving. So it kind of makes sense to try and do something with all that physical energy, Tried streaming art a long time ago, and I just couldn't get anything done. Hours went by, and I was mostly just trying to think of things to say. I'm no good at small talk, which, some streamers are excellent at it. I'm not. This is pretty much my solution to exactly that quandary. If I don't have anything to say, and I've got no one to riff off of, then I'll just make some riffs. And the benefit of streaming, even if there's nobody here, is I've got dedicated art time, and I can get through some of these big complicated pieces more quickly than if I was just working on it when I had a minute kind of thing. What kind of art do you do, Meowza? Exactly. That's pretty much the entirety of how I'm approaching this. Ah, cool. You mostly do digital artwork for games. Very cool. Well, my channel probably came up in your suggested channels because it used to be mostly about like Unreal Engine and game art and stuff. And I'm almost exclusively analog art now. But the metadata is all still there. You can hear some of the bass I added before. Some of it is really good and I like. And there's other bits where I'm like, I'm gonna edit that out later. Listen to tons of ASMR to sleep, so your channel probably touch yourself like, yeah, I reckon we're sitting right in the algorithm sweet spot. I figured since there was going to be a lot of like scratchy and repetitive sounds, I might give that ASMR tag a try, and I mean if people enjoy it, I'll keep doing what I'm doing with this whole audio visual sensory experience thing. Sound and vision. I've always loved the idea of turning kinetic movements, like physical movement, into audio and into visuals. Like I've got all the scratchy sounds. Can you hear the scratchy sounds? Like, are those picking up? It picks up a lot more when I'm using the alcoholic pens and like a mechanical eraser and stuff, which is just one of the best inventions of the last 20 years in art. You can hear it slightly. Yeah, at the moment I'm very, very soft right now. The thing about Prismacolors, and what I love about them is it's almost like working with oils or pastels. They're very blendable, they're very soft. So I'm trying to get my sort of bottom layer sketch down, but I don't want to put so much pigment on the canvas that it's going to too heavily influence the final image. Like, I don't want it to have so much of this dark, cool, 70% cool gray specifically, that it muddies a lot of the colors that are going to sit on top of it. Speaking of, I can actually show you what a more finished piece looks like, so you can see what the process looks like when I reach the end. I'm gonna go get that so you can see that and what that might look like. I can even kind of like try and put it up here in a dear God, I hope I don't knock it off kind of a way. The world's most knock-offable art stand. This thing is, it wants to fly so bad. Okay, that's there. I'm gonna go get the artwork. I'll be right back. So, hold up to the camera. This is... I've got a better idea. that's the last piece I was working on. So, like you can see, like all the color is Prismacolors that I've built up and blended together, and then I've got white and black ink to add specular highlights and sort of like almost comic book style defined shadows. And this one's only got one step left to go, so I'm gonna do a bit of a varnish. Like I'm gonna use ink and varnish to do a transparent wash on top of it, just to push the highlights and the shadows a little bit more. And it's either going to be really cool and exactly what I want it to be and as awesome as I think it will be, because I've never done it before, or it will totally destroy this piece, like beyond repair. So I'm like really, really nervous. Hey, the crumb look on the mask is insane. Thank you so much. That's the specular highlights for you. When you get that intense white and the contrast of the black with the soft Prismacolor blend, it creates this almost metallic, like poppy effect. I love working that way. It takes ages, but the final result is very cool. And I really hope my idea for this wash is going to be good, because if it's not, it's gonna suck destroying this piece. It's gonna really suck. But I've scanned it in. There is a digital copy that exists, just in case I do destroy it. So nervous. We'll see how it goes. I'm totally putting it off. Absolutely, 100%. I'm very nervous about it. And so I'm like, we'll just start the next piece. You know, that's okay, right? Let's work on the next one until I'm ready to destroy the last one. But I do want to see if it's gonna work. That was fantastic. Such interesting variations and juxtapositions in the textures. Thank you. Thank you very much. These are 2 of a series of portraits that I want to do, all in that style. So they're all gonna have that textural variation, and just that same sort of feel. That's the pro and the con of digital. Your Control-Z allows you to mess up and undo ad infinitum. Like, there is, unless your computer goes kaput or whatever, there's kind of nothing you can't undo. What I missed about analog and what I'm really enjoying about it now is when you the planning. Your planning has to be rock solid. Like I've really got to nail the composition with this. So the first the alcoholic pen, and then the sketch that I'm doing now. I've got to nail the composition before I move forward. And I need to know what I want to, I have to have my reference together. I need to know what I want to do before I even sit down, or at least have a rough idea. But I still make mistakes, and you just gotta live with them. But it challenges you to kind of incorporate it into the final image, and some of it's quite cool. Like, you can end up with some really interesting things because of that. I'm really looking forward to editing this track. posting a time lapse or anything. It's gonna be fun going and grabbing my like favorite little bits and composing something cool for this. It's also my answer to the royalty-free problem. Biggest con that digital may never replicate is that analog art is alive. It looks different from every angle because the light hits all the parts of the art differently with natural media. You are absolutely correct. In fact, that's what I want to do with this final sort of varnish wash, is I want to add like some glitter or different, or mica with the ink so that it reacts to light slightly differently in the highlight areas versus the shadow areas. Again, I've never done that before. This is the first piece I've done. That's the first piece I've done in that style. And it will be the test case for whether or not I do that final varnish pass on all the pieces. I really hope it's going to be as cool as I think it might be. I really, really, really hope. If not, it's going to be a worthy experiment, one way or the other. I actually quite enjoy my experiments, even if they end in tears, because I've just learned something interesting and new about how these physical mediums work. Out how I want it to in our head. As long as we can't see what's in your head there, it will be appreciated for what it is by the audience. I try to, I have an idea, and I pull together some reference, but I try to kind of be a bit of a passenger to the process. I'll try a few things with the reference, and but as much as possible, just kind of let it become what it's going to become. And that really starts to happen when I'm posting like progress pics to Facebook and whatever, and people start giving feedback, or they say what they see in the image, and so often they're seeing things I never anticipated or I didn't think about, and sometimes it can actually cause me to think quite differently about the piece, and it ends up taking a new direction, often quite one that I find quite more satisfying than where I was going on my own. If you could put a percentage on it, what percentage would you say you like to figure out as you go versus plan before setting any pencil to canvas? I would say what I've got, like for this piece, for example, I had maybe 10-15%. I knew I wanted a girl in the woods with a bearskin hood and a man unconscious in the background. I knew that's what I wanted. Didn't know what the camera angle was gonna be, didn't know what she looked like, or wasn't like, didn't have any of the details worked out. I just sort of had the thematic, this is kinda like thematically what I want to go with. This is sort of the gist of the dream I want to create. And then, like, as I'm pouring through reference, and that's when I start seeing I came across a model by a photographer, like a life drawing photographer that I quite like, and this particular model just struck me. I just thought she was really interesting looking, and she felt right for this piece. And the way the photographer shot her influenced the camera angle quite heavily. And then, like, a lot of the composition of the overall piece came from the reference that I found for the bear, for the guy, and like, it's just started, like, that started to form the image in my head. And so once I sat down to actually put pencil and paper, I'd say it's about 50% at that point. But even then, like with my base composition with the alcoholic ink, like her hand was up here, and then it's down here, and then it was up here again. Now it's definitely down here. I'm like, yep, okay, hands down here. That's where I want it. But so yeah, it's about 50% there when I sit down, and then the rest of it kind of comes together after that. With the final lighting, the final colors, the final details will come from working on it and exposing it to people and releasing it out into the wild. Like with this one, the choice to go, because originally I wasn't going to do the black ink. I was just like add the highlights and then do a wash for shadows and highlights, but I ended up pushing this like really quite harsh, almost gothic outlining style because of feedback I got from one person. It was this older gen, this old Scottish lad that I run into at the pub sometimes, and he used to act in Shakespeare plays, and he's a really interesting fellow. I showed him on my phone what I've been working on, and he stares at it and he says, the face is wrong. What do you mean the face is wrong? You know, that's okay. I'm open to criticism. Like, it's okay with me if the face is wrong. Tell me how the face is wrong so that I can, you know, fix this or deal with this. And he said, like, no, it's not that it's like wrong, bad art. It's the anatomy is just here beneath the eye where the line of the flower is obfuscating the eye. He says it's made the anatomy of the skull in this area look almost canine. And he said it gives her almost a malevolent sense that she might not have otherwise. And he says he was getting sort of very strong changeling vibes from this. And after I got that feedback, you know, I couldn't unsee that because I could see exactly what he meant, the shape of just that composition and how it changed sort of the feel of the shape of the anatomy in the skull mask. And and the more I looked at it, the more I thought about that, the more I wanted to bring that darkness into the image. And that's when I decided to do this much, go into the ink that heavily. I really like it. I'm very, very satisfied with that. So, I quite like it when my work gets influenced by other people. So I try to have no more than 50% figured out when I'm sitting down, because I want the rest of it, the rest of the image and the story to be influenced by other people and what they think of it. It was a very long answer to a very, very short question. Looks like a fabulous call. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I am very appreciative as well that he just happened to be there that one day. Because I don't go to the pub often anymore. Like, it's quite a rare occurrence that I'll pop in at all. So, very lucky he happened to be there and give me that advice. And it ended up being a game changer for that piece. You're very welcome for the very detailed answer. I have a certain amount of autism that kind of demands that I monologue when I answer a question. I used to teach, and I would drive my students crazy, especially if they had asked the question expecting a very short, simple answer. And I give them a treatise on living a good life. And, finding deeper meaning in the things that you do, that kind of stuff. Alright. I need to look away for just a second, so I'm going to mess with the track a little bit. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to record from here. And I will record my vocals as well, so that's going to be funny. Of course, I didn't actually hit record on that. There we go. There we are. Let's see. Things I am going to try and do is increase the amount of time I stream for. So far, 2 hours has been what I've been able to do, because I haven't streamed in years before this. But each time, I'm going to try and push it just a little bit further and a little bit further. Get my streaming stamina back up. Yeah, you remember the drain that streaming causes? You'd just be sweating for no reason. I can hear myself. Get rid of that. But it's like I think there's performance pressure. You're aware you're on camera. I find myself like sort of contorting into strange positions. Like if I was not streaming, for example, and just working on my own, I might just be like hunched in front of the canvas and just kind of like not bothering with my posture or anything. But it's like I've got Miss Manners school of poise running through my head. I'm like, shoulders back, head up. You're on stage, you're live, you've gotta project. By the time I finish a stream, I am so wired. Like, the adrenaline is insane. Like, my heart's pounding, and I've been trying to decide, do I want to, like, start going out for a jog afterwards, or try and break my, my run of pretty intense celibacy and go find some poor unsuspecting, not unsuspecting, but like poor innocent human to devour. It's like, I've got too much energy. I must continue to relax. Always ravenous for food after stream. I eat so much after stream. I don't like to eat before I stream. Like I don't like the feel. I don't want anything in my stomach when I'm sitting here working. But after a stream, I'm just like all the food. I've got a soup slow cooking right now. Yeah, I probably shouldn't talk about my sex life on stream. Just probably not. Clip that. Must be great inspo for that unconscious man in the woods, right? This whole business of the bear in the woods meme that went crazy on TikTok, and the whole rigmarole of men's rights movements getting so angry that so many women chose the bear, and so many women being like, well, these are our experiences and these are the statistics and this is why we choose the bear. And I'm sitting here going like, why has no one talked about whether or not the chick is the most dangerous creature in the woods at that moment? Because I tell you, sometimes when I got a craving on me, lock up your boys and your bears, Like it's just like each one alive. That's basically the inspiration for the piece. All y'all talking about the boys and the bears, and you're not you're dropping your guard around the girls. I am coming up to 2 hours, and I am feeling like it's time to wrap up for today. But I will be back online. In Australia, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday about lunchtime. And around the rest of the world, that's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, around whatever time that is. So it'll be about the same time that you found me. Towards a squirrel, I can take a squirrel. Exactly. I would just not be in the woods. I would just not be in the woods. No thank you. No bears. No guys. No woods. I'd be under a doona. I'm a reading chair with my book, cup of tea. Glad to catch a stream, Sud. Catch you again. Absolutely. And always happy to share stories, share process, share embarrassing moments of my private life. I will catch you another time. I'll probably wrap up now and go eat lots of food. As a cat, it was great to meet you, and I will catch you another time. I'm gonna shut everything down. Quite suddenly, I don't have like a end stream screen or anything yet, so it'll just be like kaput. And now 5, 4, 3, 2.